Hey friends, Jonathan Neal Fitness here, and today I wanted to catch up with you guys on YouTube. I've been sharing a lot recently on Facebook and on Instagram about how I've been taking on 30-day, I've given myself essentially a 30-day challenge to take on intermittent fasting. And I'm doing this in just a really simple way that was recommended to me, which is what they call a 16-8 breakdown, which basically means that, really simply, and this is one of the things that I love so much so far about this fasting thing, is that it's super simple. 16 hours out of the day, don't eat. Don't take in any calories. No liquid calories, no solid calories, nothing that causes a metabolic action, nothing that causes the metabolism to actually fire up, no insulin spike. So things like water and black coffee and tea are things that I've been taking in those 16 hours, but no calories, no sugar, no creamer, nothing like that. And then obviously the other 8 hours of the day are what we call the fed window, which is where you're actually eating. I'm actually taking in calories. And so the most important thing that I learned about this, and that I learned about this before I went into it, is obviously that this is not a plan of starvation. You're not trying to not eat. In those 8 hours, the idea is to still get the same amount of food you would normally eat in 24 hours. So I'm not cutting calories, I'm not losing anything. I'm still getting, for me, about 3,000 calories a day. I'm still getting it. I'm just eating it all in that 8-hour window. So, calories in, calories out throughout the day stays the same, but it's just all done in that. It's really the time, not the calories so much that are restricted. So what I've noticed about this so far, it's only been about a week. So I started Monday last week. So I've had about 7 days to suss this out. And I'll just start off by saying that so far I really enjoy it. I really like it. And that's something that I would not have expected from myself, because I love food and I love eating. And, that was actually one of the hardest things for the first few days, is I didn't really necessarily feel hungry. It's not like my stomach was growling and I was feeling lightheaded or anything like that. I really didn't have anything like that. What it really was more of a psychological hunger. Like I was just used to waking up and having my breakfast and used to having that little snack in between my first and second client. So there was definitely a lot of psychological resistance, but physiologically I didn't feel bad. I actually felt good, and mentally I felt more clear. But still, I would say those first 3 to 4 days were challenging because of that, because just pattern. We run off of pattern as people. We have habits and we have patterns, and that's what we're used to. So to break those patterns and habits obviously can be challenging, but it's important to remember that they are just mental patterns, and that it's not necessarily a signal that you're starving or anything like that. Now, that being said, you do want to, again, you want to make sure you're getting enough food, and you want to listen to your body. And if you're actually starving, you might want to, go ahead and cheat a little bit or break that fast a little early and then just try again the next day. But I'm here to mostly just share about my experience. So what I would say is that, the main things about fasting are that it is supposed to be good, very good for fat loss, for weight loss. That's not something that I'm really necessarily after. Of course, we all want to be a little leaner, and I could stand to be a little leaner, but I don't have a lot of weight to lose. So I was more looking at things. The main thing I would say for me was cognitive function. So I'd heard that this fasted state creates better cognitive function. Your mind gets sharper. And so I wanted to test that out mostly, because I know that's the thing that I mostly need. I run this business. I'm trying to do this YouTube channel and a million other things. And I really need that cognitive function. The mind gets scattered and distracted, and I'm trying to keep it focused, right? And I think we all are. We all have things that we want to do, and we all know that mental distraction and the constant, just haze of thoughts in the mind really gets in the way of taking the actions we need every day. And so I would say that even just in the 7 days, even just in the first few days, and continuing to get better and better, I have noticed that improving. Definitely see the cognitive function improving. I'm way more on point, especially before and especially in the fasted window, which is something I didn't necessarily expect. I thought, I'm just going to be thinking about food the whole time. I won't be able to do anything. Which maybe for the first couple days there was some of that, again, psychological resistance, but going onward, it was quite the opposite. It really was what was told to me would happen, and that's that, it's almost as if, in that state, the mind has to get so focused because it doesn't have all this extra energy to be wasting on extra thoughts, and it just has to get more efficient, has to get more focused, and that's what I noticed happening. I was just way more on point. I'm getting the things done. I'm, doing the things that I need to do for my business and for my life, and just doing them more successfully. And, that's really what I was after. And so it's good to see that. Again, only 7 days so far, so we'll continue to check in. But pretty promising so far. I'm enjoying what I'm feeling with that. Now, the main thing that I was worried about, of course, being a fitness guy and being someone that, just in general, I think we all want to be strong, and none of us want to lose muscle, right? I mean, that's kind of the opposite of what we're trying to do here. And I was worried, am I going to lose muscle? I've heard about starvation state, starvation mode, where your body stores fat and burns muscle. And I was reasonably worried about that. That's kind of the common thought, is that if you don't eat all the time, you will lose strength and muscle. Your body will cannibalize muscle. I haven't experienced that. And again, it's only been 7 days. I've really just lost fat, gotten leaner, felt better strength, really. When I go to work out, I actually, even in the fasted state, and we'll touch on that in a moment, I feel better. So I don't really feel like I've lost any strength. I don't feel like I've lost any muscle. If anything, I feel a little bit stronger and a little bit more capable. But again, it is important that I'm still getting enough calories and still getting enough protein and everything else in that window. And I've been making sure to do that. So it's not like I've been restricting calories, again, just restricting the time. And so I haven't noticed any muscle loss. And realistically, if we actually think about it in the energy in, energy out spectrum, if you're getting enough energy, it really doesn't matter whether it's in this chunk, that chunk, or a big chunk. If you're getting enough of what you need, then there's no reason that you should be losing weight. I mean, if I'm putting in 3,000 calories and burning 3,000, it doesn't really matter on timing. Now, the timing, of course, matters because giving yourself that fasted state has other advantages. Things like what they call autophagy, or basically your body's cells are breaking apart the old kind of dying and not so useful cells and not so useful proteins, and basically breaking them back down into amino acids that can be used. And this is a very beneficial thing, and I'm not going to get into all that today because there's plenty of videos on that, and I just want to share my experience so far. So the last thing that I would want to talk about is exercising in the fasted state, because that's something that I was told is very good, and I definitely wanted to do, but I was, again, worried, am I going to just black out while I do this? So, full disclosure, the first day that I was doing the intermittent fasting and I went to work out, yeah, it was really tough. My body just was not acclimated to it. I got through the workout, but I definitely had a few moments where I had to stop and kind of breathe it out because I was getting a little lightheaded. That being said, as I progressed, it was about day 5 that towards the end of my fast, I wanted to go surfing, and I did a good solid 3-hour chunk of surfing. It was a pretty good day. It wasn't really big or anything like that, but it was a pretty good day. And there was a lot of waves, a lot of paddling, a lot of physical activity involved in it. And if anything, I felt better than normal. I felt stronger. I felt more capable. I felt more in tune. I didn't feel blackout at all, even after 3 hours of hard surfing. And, I just continued to feel good. I mean, eventually I started to get tired. It's 3 hours of activity, but nothing, still better than I'd felt if I had had a little food before or had a little shake before. So I was really impressed with that. And again, part of it was also the cognitive function increased. When you're out there doing an actual sport or activity or something like surfing, you have to be really aware of what's happening in front of you, around you, outside, inside of the surf. So that really helped. Something that I really, again, didn't expect. I thought this is going to be a problem, and actually quite the opposite. I feel really good about it. So that's really just the check-in that I wanted to do with you guys today. I just wanted to share with my YouTube, and I'll share this, of course, on Facebook and Instagram as well. But I just wanted to let you know how it's going and my experience with it. And, again, only 7 days so far. I'll be continuing to check in, but my experience so far, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. And I think that, again, it's not something I thought I would, but, really making that commitment to 30 days, and for me, making it public and having that accountability, telling people, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to check in with you, has been really helpful to staying on point. And as I've stayed on point, again, I've started to feel the benefits. And now this is, so far it's starting to feel like something I'm going to want to keep going for a while, turn into a lifestyle. So, if you've been interested in trying it, I recommend, give it a try. But again, just be really careful that you make sure that in that 8-hour window or whatever window you have, you got to make sure you get enough calories, you got to make sure you get enough protein and everything else, all your vitamins and nutrients and minerals. So that's my recommendation. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this. Thanks for following along with me on this journey, this intermittent fasting journey. I'll be continuing again to share more and more of this with you all as I go down this journey. So thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I will see you next time.